What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we are going to be talking about Terastal Festival. I know everybody's talking about prismatic evolutions. This Terastal Festival, if you do not know, is the first half of prismatic evolution. It's going to be the EV part of it. It's not going to have the other part of it, I guess, with like the legendaries and everything like that, because those are coming from like the starter decks or whatever like that Japanese is doing. Japanese always does some weird stuff with Pokemon. Like they always like making two different sets in this and the other. But the thing that I want to talk about today is Terastal Festival. Should you be buying it right now? Should you be investing into it? What should you be doing with Terastal Festival? Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with Terastal Festival and kind of give you some suggestions of what I have learned from the Pokemon in Japanese market. So we're going to go through that right now. So a lot of people are going to think, okay, so I know I said prismatic evolutions is going to be bigger than evolving skies. I did say that. Yes, I did. I made a whole video about it. You can check that out. People are going to call me crazy. I'm okay with that. We're not talking about it today. Today, we're talking about Terastal Festival. So Terastal Festival could have the chance to have a little bit of a run-up. I think it might a little bit, but there is always, you see, the Japanese market has kind of got me scared a little bit. Ever since 151, as you can see right here, I have 3 cases plus 19 loose boxes of Japanese 151. Japanese Pokemon card side of Pokemon does not care at all about prices. They don't care about having value for the customers and having people kind of hold the value for that. They want to make as much money on this product as they possibly can. They want to meet demand, which is kind of a little scary because that is why I will not go heavy into the set. I did buy, okay, disclaimer, I have bought so far 5 boxes of Terastal Festival. I might get up to 10, we'll see, just to have it. Okay, I'm not saying Terastal Festival is gonna just like not do anything. There's a possibility, and I want to give a little bit of it. I'm not going as crazy as I am into prismatic evolution. Prismatic evolutions, whenever I can find boxes for a decent price, like maybe ETBs for like $42-$45 around the area, I'm probably gonna go really heavy into that. But this side right here, Terastal Festival, I don't like it. I really don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole, honestly, because I've learned my lesson with 151. 151 has a sore taste in my mouth to seeing how the Japanese market really is. I thought the Japanese market was really investable. I thought maybe this Terastal Festival might be another EV Hero set. It might, but the thing is, see, what I realized, what they did with 151, which I feel like Japanese will kind of do again, so you have to watch this and kind of time this side of the market, which I don't really like doing. I don't like timing things, like getting in and out of positions. Like, I don't like that personally because it's not how I like to invest. I really don't like to do that. I like to buy and hold products. It just consistently just go up over time. You see what I'm saying? I don't like to kind of, okay, I gotta buy it now. If I don't buy it now and I don't sell out here, then I've been wrong investment. Like, that's not the kind of plays that I want to make. If you're wanting to make those plays, that is why I bought a little bit of it, just to kind of see how it does. I'm only going to probably put max $500 into this part of Pokemon because there is a chance that this booster box or this box can run up in value. But the one thing too is, though, if we can see with specialty sets in the past with Pokemon Japanese, shiny treasures from last year, they printed that thing to the ground. Those boxes are sitting at like $30-something a box, $32 a box. It's kind of crazy. So Terastal Festival, it's either one, I have to get it at a good price. Terastal Festival right now is around, I think I'm telling most people selling them for around like 50. I got mine for $55 a box. If I can probably get a little bit more, about $50, I feel comfortable having that position and not really, if anything happens, if it does go to like $100 a box, then I will probably sell it. I can tell you that right now. That is not a position that I will want to hold long term, but it is a position that could possibly something could happen with. Like, I don't really know. You see what I'm saying? Like, part of Japanese got me scared. I'm willing to go a little bit, dabble in it a little bit, just to see, because we never know. Like I said, you know what I mean? It could be another 151 scenario. That is what I kind of am hoping for here a little bit. That's why I want to have a little bit of it, just to see what happens, just to see how it goes. You know what I mean? Because what happened with Japanese 151, everybody should know this, is Japanese 151, it came out, it shot up. It was staying around $200 for, I think, like a year or so like that. Around a year. Then after that, Pokemon's like, all right, Japanese like, all right, we're going to make some money off this. Print that thing to the ground. I'm happy for me because I bought some of it, but I'm like, okay, sounds good to me. But then look what they're doing now. They're going to reprint Japanese 151 again after another massive reprint. You see what I'm saying? Like, Japanese market is very interesting to me. It is very weird because English does not do this like this. English, I really like how they do it. So I'm going to start maybe, like I said, I want to get a little bit exposed to this and this is the only other Japanese set that I really feel I think that might have a possibility of going up like crazy. That is why I want to kind of get a little bit of it just in case what can happen. I'm not going to go crazy into it because I already know what happens with 151 and what Japanese likes to do. They don't care. At the same time, I want to come at it from a flip side too on this thing too. Because like I said, I like looking at it from both perspectives because, okay, what can happen with 151, which I feel like is going to happen. I feel like Japanese does do. So it's like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like where do I feel like the price is at and how much are they going to print? Is a set going to be worth it to hold it like that? Because look, I think with Japanese 151, and I feel like it's going to be the same thing with Terastal Festival, is they're going to print the demand on 151. They're going to have maybe 2 or 3 reprints, massive reprints, or one massive reprint like they did the first time, then have another medium reprint, and then another smaller reprint after that. Then after that, I think they're going to be done reprinting. So then after that, these boxes do have a chance to go up. It's just, can you withstand the price movements within that time and get it to a decent price to where the prices can actually hold during these like slowdowns and stuff like that? Terastal Festival is one of those boxes like I'm like, is it going to hold here? Is it not going to hold here? It's a very difficult thing to say. So if Terastal Festival gets like a massive reprint and it kind of goes down to maybe, or even if it gets down to like $30 a box without a reprint, I might go a little bit, I might buy a little bit of it. I might buy a case, just buy a case, that's it. So just to be, because it would be at a price point where I feel comfortable. Like the same thing will happen with me with 151 is kind of how I'm looking at Terastal Festival. 151, I got it like $55 a box. So I was comfortable there. I felt like the deal, I felt it was a play to make. Like there's a lot of different factors that came into that. So if that's the same thing that happens with Terastal Festival, I'm going to go heavy into Terastal. I want to go heavy into Terastal Festival. I would just buy one case just to see how it goes. But the prices that it's at now, I don't really know. I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Like I said, I will buy a little bit of it, but I'm not going to go insanely heavy. Most of my money right now is going to be getting saved up and put to Prismatic Evolutions. Prismatic Evolutions is going to be my number one focus for me personally right now. And if I can find some other deals right now of where I feel like it would be the best plays. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody right now is focused on Prismatic Evolutions. If I can find some places everywhere else, you see what I'm saying? Then we'll see how that goes. Because I'm focused on that right now. But at the same time, I'm going to be looking around to see what can I get value at where people are not looking to buy. Like maybe everybody's going to be focused on Prismatic Evolutions and they're not going to be buying 151 English. And I can find deals on that. There's different kind of things I can see and what I'm trying to do here. This is just my personal opinion, what I'm going to try to do. I know a lot of people. I will probably eventually get out of investing in Japanese just because it's such a volatile market. Like, it's kind of scary. I don't like how it is. I really don't like how the Japanese market is. The Japanese market is a whole different breed of things. And I didn't even know that before I got into it. But, I have to live and learn through it. I've learned through it with 151. I'm glad I got in at a comfortable price to where it's at. But this box could possibly go down to $40 a box if they have another massive reprint like they did. I don't think the demand's there for as much as they're printing of this set. So Japanese does not care. I would be very cautious of you going into Japanese and trying to invest into this set. If you want, maybe get a couple of boxes just because it might potentially be another EV Heroes. And if it does go, the one thing with Japanese is, if I start seeing doubles and triples of my money fast, I'm going to get out of these products fast. Like, typically with products, I wouldn't do that. But those kind of price movements, I feel like I have to, because Japanese Pokemon is just so unreally reliable of how they do things. And, it doesn't make me want to hold the product for a long time because I know they don't care. They're going to reprint it like crazy. English could do the same thing, but I haven't seen them do it at all. And the reprints that they have done in English is a bit smaller. Like Paldea Evolved, boom. It's like English, when they have reprints, it is the time to pick things up. Japanese, when they have reprints, it is a time to pick things up, but just be very, very cautious. You know what I mean? Like, I would never go heavy into Japanese because of this scenario right now. They don't care. They do not care at all for prices. Would I buy a little bit of the sets just in case? You know what I mean? I want to have my toes in the water with it, but I'm not going to dive into the deep end with this because there's just so many things that I don't really know and that I've seen already with past sets with Japanese that I'm like, no, I'm not buying this at all. But there are certain sets, like these EV sets right here, like EV set and 151 are the only two Japanese sets that I would ever really buy, me personally, at least right now, because Every other Japanese set, no. English versions, I'm staying. Like, I like Paul Evolve, Stellar Crown, Paradox Rift, Twilight Masquerade. Yes, I am buying these in English if I can find them at good deals. Twilight Masquerade is really hard right now. It's kind of insane. So, if I can find these products at a good deal in English, then I'm going to buy them. In Japanese, it's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different thing. I've learned my lesson on Japanese. I'm not going to go heavy into a set again. Like I said, if it gets to a price where I feel comfortable at, I will get a little bit. I will buy a little bit, but I'm not going to go crazy. English is going to be mainly on my focus. Prismatic Evolution is going to be my focus to mainly go after. And then English, other products, whatever like that. Anything English that I can see a good price at that I can get into. Like these 151, anything, booster bundles preferably. If I can get those at a good price, market prices, then I'm going to be buying those. If I can find it like that. Pauline Evolve, if I can find that at a good price, yes. Prismatic Evolution is going to be my main concern over the next month and a half or so before the pre-orders. I want to get as many good deal pre-orders as I can before a set comes out because it's going to be interesting. But you can do what you want to do here. I was just giving my thoughts on what I'm going to do with Terastal Festival. It's a set that I want to put a little bit in. I want to have a little bit of, but I'm not going to go crazy into that set. That set is just, like I said, I've learned my lesson with Japanese. It has a possibility to run up like it did with EV Heroes and like it did with 151, and then Japanese could reprint it after that, like a year or so later they could reprint it, but I just don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go. It's kind of a scary market. It's kind of scary to kind of see how it's gonna go, but like I said, I'm gonna buy a little bit of it, see how it goes. If anything, it stays stagnant, then I just sell it out and kind of learn my lesson and be like, I'm not going to the Japanese. Luckily with 151 and I got it at a good time, Terastal Festival was one of those that's like, should I buy it? Because what could possibly happen here is Terastal Festival is going to be such in high demand that everything that the Japanese market puts out there, it gets soaked up, which could potentially happen. It could happen. I don't really know because Japanese did wait a while for 151 to reprint. So is they going to do the same thing with Japanese and wait like a year or so to reprint it? I don't know. If they do potentially do that, that's why I kind of am buying the set right now, because just for the potential, if it does happen like that, and these boxes run up to $200 a box, this, that, and the other, if these boxes got to $100 or around there, I would sell my Terastal Festival that I have. Like I said, I only want to get the 10 boxes of me personally right now. So if it goes that route and they run up like that, then I'm going to do that. So we'll see what happens. It's a very interesting market to kind of with Japanese. So be very careful if you're going to go into Terastal Festival. I'm just doing it because I see there being potential and I feel like the risk is worth the potential. You know what I mean? But that's just me personally. I wouldn't suggest you. If you have a limited amount of money and you're thinking about a set to invest in, go for Prismatic Evolutions over Terastal Festival. Do not be buying Terastal Festival. Terastal Festival is one of those ones where it's like, you don't know. Like it has a potential, yes, because it could be another EV Heroes, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, is it worth risking those plays? Prismatic Evolutions, you know it's going to be a good set. You know it's going to be a great set when it comes out. So just stick with the English side of things. The Japanese side of things is a whole different ball game. But I'm willing to put a little bit in there just to see how it goes. Am I going to regret it? Maybe. But I got to learn my lesson. You know what I mean? You don't learn your lesson until you get burned to see kind of, it's one of those things where you get burned, you got to look back and see what you did. And anything, I'm okay with that. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm okay. The only two sets right now that I feel good about going with in Japanese is Terastal Festival and Japanese 151. Those are the only two sets that I really feel like would actually make sense to buy in Japanese. Everything else, I'm not touching at all. Nothing else in Japanese I'm touching. 151 and Terastal Festival. That's it. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Put my money out there a little bit. See what happens. If anything, I probably might regret this because I should be putting all my money into Prismatic Evolutions, but I kind of want to get a little bit, you know what I mean? Because it has a potential, because Prismatic Evolutions is going to go crazy, I feel like. So Terastal Festival has the same thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to put a little bit of money into Terastal Festival. The rest of it's going to go into Prismatic Evolutions, and we'll see what happens. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Love to hear what y'all thinking. Are y'all going to try to buy Terastal Festival? Do you think it's going to be another EV Heroes? Do you think it's going to be another Japanese 151 aftermarket whenever it drops? We'll see what happens. There can be a potential for everything here. So, hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one. Peace.